So on Tuesday, September 8th, the moon will be moving out of Taurus and moving into Gemini, but it will be void for most of the day. When the moon is moving out of one sign and not quite stationed in another, it's on the move, it's in the void, and we call that void of course. So when the moon is void, when it's on its way from one sign into the next, typically we feel a little bit upset. There's something bothering us that we can't put our finger on. We're very indecisive. Our emotions are all over the place, and that is because the moon rules over our emotions. Having the previous days of the week be a little bit more stable for us to get a grip on our emotional selves, we might feel a little bit more chaotic when the moon is void on Tuesday because, again, there's a lot of uncertainty coming up. There's a lot of activators in our emotional self coming up. And realistically, we're just all over the place. To make matters a little bit more amplified on Tuesday, on that void moon day, we have Saturn making an aspect with the true node. So Saturn is about karma. It is about maturity, it's about restrictions, it's about those tough life lessons that we've just been banging our head against a wall in order to try and overcome. And of course, the true node is where destiny is trying to point us. It's where we're trying to move forward in our path. So Saturn kind of reminding us that, yep, we still have some blocks to deal with. Yep, we still have some challenges to overcome. Yep, we still have some lessons to learn. Might be an aggravating energy, especially where the moon will be void. We're very uncertain. We're kind of flip-flopping from one emotion to the next. It's not going to be a nice added feature to have Saturn aspecting the true node on that day because it is going to be very frustrating. It is going to be very irritating to recognize that we're still being held back and restricted in a couple of ways, kind of preventing us from taking that quick, fast forward path forward and getting in alignment with that true node. Mercury is also making an aspect with Uranus that day, which is just going to amplify the confusion. Again, even without all of these aspects, the moon being void all day is going to bring up a lot of roller coaster of emotion. And Mercury ruling over the mental plane and Uranus being the great awakener itself, adding shock and awe to the system, we really aren't going to have a decisive point of clarity in our mental space. Again, amplified on a moon void day, it is going to feel a little bit frustrating, a little bit irritable, and a lot indecisive. We do have a beautiful aspect taking place between that moon in its journey to kind of move from Taurus and get into Gemini. It will be sextiling Venus, which is really going to amplify for us, of course, all that Venus energy that we're just getting used to being in Leo. We are going to have a focus later on in that day on our heart space, on our romantic connections, on our creative projects, and where it is that life has gotten too heavy, has gotten too serious, and where it is we need to kind of spark back playful, light, happy, childlike energy. So as we transition throughout that very unstable emotional and mental day, towards the end, just as we find ourselves kind of going to bed that night, we are going to be much more focused on our heart space and really contemplating what it is that we need to do to make the changes to invite that playful energy back into our lives.